Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Paige, this is Seeking Alexandria, and we have so much going on today. I had to take off my sweater so I could do all these swatches. I am so excited for this. I have been like debating on doing this video and like getting these for so long, and I don't know why I was so hesitant about it. I mean, now swatching them I can see my hesitation, but like, oh my good lord. Of course, as you saw in the title, we are talking about some Becca cuteness. Where's the third one? Oh, there it is. We're talking about awesome new releases from Becca. The first up is these two right here are like the Christmas theme. I'll give you a close-up on this like packaging. It is so damn cute. But this is the Apres. I always say this wrong. There's actually a place over here, and it's they say it's in their name. I always have said Apres, and I'm like, that's a little bit too white. I don't think that that's how that goes. But anyways, it's the Apres or Apres, or see, Apres just sounds bad. The Ski Glow face palette, and then this is the Eye Lights palette, part of the Apres Skin Go collection. Apres, whatever. And then I also, just because it was new at Ulta and it had a little new thing next to it, I picked up the Gradient Glow highlight. And like, look at how stinking cute, right? So I have swatches of all the stuff on my arms. Just to run over prices, I believe this one was $38 for the little single highlight, which is pretty standard for a Becca highlight, I think. And then the eye palette was $45, and then the face and the highlight and all that stuff, this one was at $54. So we're not talking like small price points by any means. I think that's pretty common knowledge when it comes to Becca, but I always like to put it out there. So I think where I'm gonna start is I'm actually going to start with swatches. I have the eyeshadows here. On the back I did the highlight, and then down here I did a giant swatch of the single highlight. So let's go ahead, jump into those so you guys can see those, you know, kind of what we're working with, and then show me what you're working with, and then we can go ahead and keep putting some stuff on our eyes. I was working with the Morphe palette to get a start, like that's the little bit that you see on my eyes right now, because again, this palette, as you'll see, doesn't offer everything you need. So let's go ahead, let's zoom in real quick and do these swatches. Okay, now I believe I'm going to say these in the right order, but we start off with Rose Quartz, Moonstone, Opal, Topaz, Toasted Marshmallow, Pearl, which is the one in the dead center, and then Hot Cocoa. And that is the entire all shimmery eyeshadow palette. Now, while we are at this end, let's go ahead and see what we think of this highlight. Again, I just did a giant strip of it right here. And that is it in pan. I went ahead and I swirled all the colors together. I feel like when I translated it to skin, it's not as beautiful. But if I go ahead and run my fingers through everything, I mean, you can see it is so beautiful and just so much straight pigment. I mean, look at that. But then as I sheared it out with my finger and like worked with it, it had a lot less luster to it. So I think the key with this one is making sure that you keep it nice and concentrated and together. Then lastly, we are going to move on to this guy right here. By the way, look at how stunning he is. Like all the cute little like branches from the trees covered in snow and my fingerprints. Really, really cute. But let's go ahead and do the swatchy thing. Okay, camera, come on. Quit being an asshole. Start off up here with the shade Rose Quartz as a highlight. Icicle, which is also a highlight. Winterberry as a blush. Blushed Copper, also as a blush. Opal, which is a highlight. And then the only bronzer in the palette is this guy right here, and that is the shade Bronzed Bondi. And that is all of them face and highlight color thingies. Yes! For some reason, you guys, today my swatch game is like all over the place. But I'm sorry about that. Now these packaging, my speech game is off too. But seriously, I live for like this icicle look, and I'm from Michigan, so this is my life, what you're seeing right here. It feels like this is what we have for like 10 months out of the year, because it's awful. Now, that's okay though. I haven't died yet, so I'll be okay. But I want to start with this eye one and talk about it a little bit. To swatch, it was insanely creamy. The quality was definitely there. My first issue, let me start there, is that this guy right here, $45, you get these, what is that, 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, you get 7 shades. Of course, I believe they are all shimmer, and yes, they are all shimmer. At least that's what I'm seeing. I feel like they tried to make two of them like a little less shimmery, but they still shimmery, you know what I'm saying? And the pan sizes on these are what? These are only 0.05 ounces, which is a kind like, that's about an Urban Decay shadow. So think about like $45. I believe the Urban Decay shadows, just as a like a, you know, frame of reference for you guys. They also sit standard at about a 0.05 ounce pan for the long strips, like their longer palettes, like the Naked Heat and stuff like that. And those range, I think those are about $54. So they are about $9 more than this guy right here. But you get all of those pans. How many do those have? Like 12 pans or 15 pans, something like that. And this is 7. So you're definitely paying a premium for the Becca name and for their shimmers. Now, are they beautiful? Holy cow, yes. I swatched them. They are so saturated in like this beautiful shimmer pigment. And when I first saw this, by the way, this mirror right here, stunning. It's absolutely stunning. It's a beautiful, large, all open, like just, I love mirrors like this. But when I first looked at this online, I didn't realize that these were all shimmers. And so last night when I went to the store, I actually had like a chance to kind of look at it before I bought it. And I was kind of shocked that, like, I understand the aesthetic and why they, you know, did what they did, because it's, you know, meant to have like that theme to it, the Christmas icy, you know, that's all the shimmery kind of things. Like, I get it. I was just a little shocked that for the price that was all you got, because it's not super all-inclusive, and it's nothing like that, but it is beautiful, and I like that the aesthetic that they were going for with both of these pieces is that shimmer, glimmer, highlight, glitz, glamour, you know, snow kind of thing. And if you've ever looked at snow, it has that beautiful sheen sparkle when you look at it that is just like, there's nothing more like beautifully natural and disastrous at the same time than snow. It is just, you look at it and you're like, you could kill me because you're really damn cold and I'm gonna slip and kill myself, but damn, are you so pretty to look at inside while I make my cookies. You know what I mean? It's kind of one of those. Because it was the same kind of theme that ran through the other palette as well, the face highlight type palette. The thing I struggled with as far as looking at him is that it's, I don't want to say it's bad, okay, because it's not bad. They're definitely beautiful. They have a ton of pigment with them. These are also all shimmery kind of colors. I thought that this blush was matte, but it's definitely not. Like, I'm looking at sparkles. So I have a hard time with palettes like this because it's like, I would have a hard time justifying or being able to use the bronzer in this as my all over face bronzer, but it would look beautiful in certain places. I would have an issue using everything in this palette all at once just because it'd be a ton of sparkle on my face. You know, I typically like to have matte bronzer, matte blush, you know, and then like a nice, intense, beautiful highlight. Or if I'm going to do a sparkly blush, I try to tone down the other things because you don't want, you know, you're going to literally look like a Christmas tree. So I wanted to make sure that I kind of, showed you guys these before. Like, there's nothing on my face right now. I am going to go in with, you know, probably like my Hoola Light or my Marc Jacobs bronzer, some other options to kind of give me a little bit more tone down, but I will be putting both of these on my face as much as possible so we can kind of see what we think, do we like. That is where the little bit of shadow that's on my lids came from right now. Just a couple things from the Jaclyn Hill palette, nothing overly exciting. That's why I didn't show you. I put browns in the crease, guys. I built up a little bit of a crease color. So that's where I want to start with these. I am going to actually begin based on these swatches. I think I'm going to start with, what shade are you? Hell, I don't know. I'm going to start with him and then I'm going to work into him. So I think those are like marshmallow or some shit, right? Toasted marshmallow and hot cocoa, and I'm going to start by working those into the crease and seeing if I can use them in my crease or if they're only going to work as an all over lid shade. I think it's pretty safe to assume, based on, again, this color selection, the fact that they're all shimmers, that you could use these on your, like, your main lid, and that wouldn't be an issue at all. Me, I'm one of those, like, could I use this other places? That's kind of where my mind immediately goes to. I'm just, okay, calm down. I'm just kind of weird like that. So that's actually what I'm going to do, and I'm just going to start going. So I'm going to go in first with Toasted Marshmallow, knowing that it's a shimmer, and try to work that into my crease. Like, I don't have a problem with like a, you know, a predominantly shimmery lid or a predominantly shimmery cheekbone or, you know, anything like that. Like, that doesn't bother me at all. I just feel like I always struggle, and you guys know this if you've watched my channel, like, you know I struggle with all shimmer palettes. I had a hard time with the Kat Von D all shimmer palette that I reviewed, just because I wasn't a huge fan of it. And I think that, like, I reviewed the Urban Decay one, also all shimmers. This is a big year for all shimmer palettes, which is kind of shocking because they're not super inclusive, but I mean, and it's inclusive as far as doing an entire eye look. But you know, I think I've come to the point where I don't think that my review for the Kat Von D palette was wrong. I didn't fall in love with it. The Urban Decay one I absolutely did love. And it, again, the price point on the Urban Decay palette was like $55. And you got all those, you know, 2 rows on each side of that mirror, and you got a lot more to work with. Versus this one, it's $9 less, and like, this is all you get. So it's like, you know, I know that namesake is a lot, but like, Becca, that's a little expensive. So, and maybe that's just me. Like, I know I talk a lot about prices and stuff, because I do kind of feel like it has to be included. I mean, at the end of the day, people have to buy this stuff, right? But I can also tell you that I have barely touched any of this brown shadow, the Toasted Marshmallow, and it just does such a beautiful job at blending. It blended so nicely with those other shadows, and it's gorgeous. So the shadows, you guys, I have to say, are just on point. They are absolutely beautiful, and they actually are working very nicely in my crease. I would be mindful. This isn't a look I would normally shoot for because obviously we're going to have a lot of shimmers on our damn eyeballs. But you know what? Sometimes you got to be shimmery, especially when you're reviewing all shimmers, you know? Now, there is a lot of fallout happening right now. Okay. Good to know. These are a very soft shadow. Like, when I swatch them, you'll notice, well, I don't know if you would have seen it in the close-up, but some of these actually looked like they had a little chunk to them. They are just super duper soft. A lot of Becca products are, even if you look at the highlight that I swatched, this new one, it was so soft that when I ran my finger through it, it carried like almost a chunk value to it. Okay, let's go ahead and get rid of this fallout before it totally sits in. But like, yes, there's definitely a lot. Like, be super mindful of it because, whoa. But you guys, I can't say that they look bad. Like, they are super, super beautiful, blendable, easy to use shadows. Oh, and by the way, I realized that I don't have to use 3 colors from this palette on my eyes or more. I do it just because I like to get a feel for them. If I'm going to tell you guys what I think, I want you guys to have a full, well-rounded experience, damn it, because that's what I'm here for. I think I'm going to put this gold tone right here over most of the lid. Another thing I like about palettes like this is that, like, if you were in a pinch and you were traveling, you could use this to highlight and it would look so beautiful as a highlight. Like, there are so many shades in here. I mean, shit. I myself could probably use 1, 2, 3, 4. I could use about 3 or 4 of these shades as a highlight. As long as I mixed pearl with them, I think that it would look absolutely beautiful. And like, I want you guys to also see, hold on. Yet again, there you sit, way over there. Like, I literally go in with just this much. Like, I went into the pan one time, and like, you can see, and I'm just using my finger. No glitter glue, no fix or like spray of any kind. And like, you can just pop this all over your lid, and it is so beautiful and like saturated in color that it's like, it does the work for you. It is such a beautiful color. Like, look at that. Like, it takes no work. My God, it's so beautiful. Like, yes, that is so stinking pretty. Oh my gosh. And I also like too that this was a really nice, like, thoughtfully designed palette for so many different skin tones and like uses. Because I keep looking at it thinking like, oh, this could be a highlight. This is a great this and this. And oh, this would look stunning on this skin tone. Like, it just, both of these palettes, you know, the eyeshadow palette and the face palette were so nicely designed for so many people. Like, I commend Becca on that because it's absolutely beautiful. Like, you guys, how gorgeous is that? Oh my gosh. It is very, very shimmery. I'll tell you where. Might have to add like a little matte black or something, a little matte dark deep brown on the outside. But for right now, I can live with this. Now, I also, of course, I want to keep playing with it because my little fingers just can't stop. I want to take this like deeper, more bronzy gold that I haven't had a chance to play with, and I'm going to pop that on my lower lash line. Because apparently I don't think there's enough shimmer on my eyes. And again, I just like to reiterate, like, I don't do this on my day-to-day. I do realize that putting shimmers after shimmer after shimmer all over your eye, it's not something that you really need to do. You can do it. I don't really care what you do. I've seen a lot weirder shit on people's faces, so why not? Like, so little of that does such a beautiful job. And then on the underside of it, I'm going to take just a teeny tiny little bit of, what's that middle shade? That pearl shade again. And just kind of diffuse it on the underside. Because I don't want it to look just like a gold strip on my under eye. Because, you know, that's not the cutest. But you diffuse it a little and it becomes the cutest. Ooh, yes. Like, how gorgeous is that? I kind of love. Now, I'm going to stop with the eyes for right now. And I am going to scooch my little ass over to my face. So I'm just going to go ahead real quick and I'm going to bronze myself up. Good Lord, make some more noise, Paige. With my Marc Jacobs Tantastic because I love it. And we need a little some kind of base because, oh man, we gonna look all kinds of sparkly. We're gonna be all kinds of Edward Cullen when we're done with this shit. I hope the Volturi doesn't come for me. Did I really just make that reference? My mother, she loves Twilight. And I've watched it so many times that I actually know names and plot lines. Oh, God. All right, there, just a little something, nothing too crazy. We don't want to like have no base down, but we don't want to put down so much that we can't see the beauty of this sexy devil. And again, you get like one of these beautiful, stunning, just, oh my God, these mirrors. And I love that this palette lays back like this. I love this. I love the look and feel of like sleekness level to these palettes. I feel like, is it $54? Yes, but like, is it absolutely stunning? Yes, and you gotta give me a little bit more something for my money. Now we're gonna tap that off because I don't know how this is gonna look. Oh God. Well, that's a little dark for my little white ass, that's for sure. Okay, so that's definitely a nice bronzer, maybe for someone that has a little bit more pigment in their skin. Oh, I'm gonna have to go back and contour my nose with that Marc Jacobs one too, because you don't contour your nose with no shimmery shit. You're just asking to look like a, what are those, the airport runways? That's what I'm asking to look like today. Now, let me grab a blush brush because you know we got to be trying out this blush. Oh my God. No, we got to be trying this blush. There we go. Good job. So we're going to go in, of course, with this guy right here, which I think is the shade Winterberry, if I don't miss my guess. There's so much reflective on this palette that every time I try to show it to you guys, it's just like, oh, lights. Sorry. Now, these blushes are so, like, pigmented. Like, I'm afraid. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's pink. Okay, now, just like with every time I put on blush and bronzer, you guys might not see it on camera, but I always go back through and kind of mush the two together, meld them a little nicer, and diffuse them. Because I know that if I put them on, they're probably a little too dark, because that's kind of my lot in life, is to put on really dark blush and bronzer. It's like just what I'm good at. So I think once they're diffused, they definitely look absolutely beautiful. I do like that bronzer. I like that it's a good mix between like warm tone and cool tone. It's definitely, it's more warm tone, but it's not like so warm that I can't wear it. And that was my concern. I struggle a little bit with two of the shades in this palette. Like as far as what to do with them. There are these two right here, which one is like the copper blush. I believe that's what they call it even, isn't it? Yeah, blushed copper, same thing as a blush. And then the highlight next to it, which is that really called opal? Am I reading this right? It is. Damn. Just these two right here, they just seem super dark. I don't have an issue with this one because I think it would look gorgeous on a deeper skin tone. But this blushed copper, I'm like, duh, that's really dark. Like, and it's got so much shimmer to it. Like, the pinky blush had some shimmer, but it was like a light shimmer that you can work with. That one has got so much shimmer, I'm like, I don't know how that's gonna go. But those aren't really so much colors I could put on my face anyways, because girl, I had a hard time putting on this guy way down here, so that's just my world. I do think that they would both make a stunning lid color. For my cheekbones, I want, like, part of me really wants to try this Moon Dust, but part of me really knows that I've got this highlight right here that I don't want to forget about. Highlight brush. All right, so I want to go in, I'm just dragging it through all of these colors, tapping it off a little, and then we're gonna go in. Look at that highlight. Oh, girl, yes. Oh, that's so pretty. Oh, child, you are blinding me. This is such a gorgeous highlight. I love it. I love it. My mambo. Ay, ay, ay. All right, any Elmo Palooza fans out there? Anybody at all? You better leave a comment because Elmo Palooza was my jam. I still have the CD. My mom and I still sing it. Now over top of that, because that is a darker highlight, I do want to go in with a little bit of the shade, what is that? Icicle. It was like this really like white, intense highlight. I don't want a ton of it. I just want just enough to kind of lighten it up. Wow, that's gorgeous. Okay, so about that whole I don't want it to be too intense thing. I lied. Look at that. Oh my god. You guys, I am an intense highlight whore and I live for this. Love. And I could have left it, you know, with just the other highlight and I would have been just fine. Absolutely. But you know me. When I'm trying it, girl, I'm trying it. I'm going in deep. Now, you guys, I'm going to go ahead real quick. I'm going to finish up the rest of my face, and then I'm going to come on here. I'm going to give you my final thoughts. I definitely have a hair right here, and it's kind of making me irritated as all shit. Okay, but I'm going to go finish this up, and I will come back on. I want us to have some discussion and then wrap this shit up, because this is going to be long, because I talk a lot. I talk a lot. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I talk a lot. I talk a lot. So you guys, I'd be lying if I said that like I haven't been having like this really bad like stabbing like gut pain all morning. And as I was putting my lipstick on, it was like someone was jamming a hot poker in my stomach. So like if you happen to see that it looks a little crooked, like it always looks crooked, but like there's actually a reason today, not just like I don't know how to put on lipstick. And then I was like not thinking because I was in pain. And so I never do mascara before I set my face because it makes my mascara transfer. I just have giant puffy cheeks and giant puffy everything, so it all kind of touches. Well, I was like, oh crap, I forgot. I'll just let my mascara dry and then I'll do it. Nope, still transferred. And then I was like, ugh. It was just like a hot minute, but I went ahead, I finished up, threw on that Lolita because girl, you know it's that time of year for me to be pulling out some Lolita. I actually have more thoughts than I thought I would. I want to preface this by saying I think that this is the kind of collection, and again, I'm mainly referring to these two when I say that. I think that the highlight is stunning. I just threw it in here because I bought it and I love it, and I do think that it goes on like a dream, and I love it because it has so many different colors in it that like you can actually kind of blend them together, or if you know you only want to use a certain portion of it, you're going for a certain look, that you would be able to do that. And I just overall I really love this highlight. I think it's stunning and it layers beautifully with other highlights, which is key for me. But now the collection aspect, which is these, I have some thoughts, and like I said, more than I thought I would. I will start with the eyeshadow palette. I think that you pay a lot of money for the branding and for the packaging. The packaging is beautiful. The concept is great. Again, that sparkly winter feeling that everybody loves and wants is absolutely amazing. But with that being said, you're going to pay a higher price point. You are getting all shimmers. Now, you guys, I did add a little darker brown, like I said, into the outer crease, just to kind of smoke it out a little bit. I wanted like a little bit more sultry, but not too much. You guys, I actually really do love this like product, and I thought that I was going to be pissed because A, there's not a ton of it, right? Like you don't get big, huge pans, and you only get so many of them, yada, yada. I actually really like it. I love how a little goes a long way on all of these. Like literally I touch it and I get enough to do an eyelid. And that's just from like totting my finger through it. Totting, I don't know what word that is, but that's what we're going to go with. And these are such a creamy texture that they're not like a standard, they're not a standard shadow in the sense of like, oh, they might have some crumbly like fallout, which don't get me wrong, they did have a ton of fallout when I went in to use them in the crease. So I don't know if I'd recommend it so much for that unless you are prepared to constantly wipe away fallout. Totally your prerogative. I do it and it is what it is. If I want it somewhere, I'm going to put it there. I do think that the darker colors are able to be blended into the crease. You can use them that way. It did give me a very shimmery eyelid, but I think overall it turned out okay. And again, you know, with the basic things that I do in life, it doesn't really matter. It definitely passed my wear test on my arm. You guys know in every video, whenever I swatch my arm, I look at it at the end of the video and I see, is it still vibrant? Is it all these things? Because for me, filming is about an hour to 2 hour process. And if they're still there without any assistance, any glitter glue, any primer, anything like that, after I've hit and bumped into everything, including my own self and shirt doing one of these, then they're decent quality and they've got good staying power. And these look exactly as they did when I put them on. Same with the other highlight, and even these look great. And when I tell you that this hand has actually been through quite a lot this morning, oh child, it has. And all of these, they don't give you a ton of product, right? And the price point is definitely high, but you don't need a lot to complete something beautiful. I didn't expect this, but I actually really like both of these, and they both get my stamp of approval. Now, that is it for this video. It has been long enough, and I'm gonna put my sweater on because my big old chunky arms over here are kind of lonely without it. So I hope that you guys have enjoyed this. Leave a comment down below. Did you like this? Would you buy this? What do you think? Obviously, price point, yep, we know. Okay, got it. I've beat that to fucking death, okay? But what did you think? Oh, be sure to let me know. Also in the description box, be sure to follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and the Snapchats, and we will keep it apprised, you guys. We are over 700 subscribers. Holy shit, is that awesome? Yes, it is. I'm so excited. I can't wait for 1,000 because it's happening and I'm so excited. So I'm going to get going, you guys. I hope you have a great day, night, weekend, whatever it is when you watch this. And I will see your shimmery ass self later on in the next video. Bye. I say. Why?